How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Fear Street: The Beginning. I've already talked about each of the books in this collection in their own reviews, but I figured why not go ahead and take a moment to talk about the bind-up overall, because a lot of people probably see this release sitting on the Barnes & Noble shelves and are curious what it's like. So first off, this is a great place to start with Fear Street if you're looking to get into it. I mean, The Beginning, that's a good cue in. This has the first 4 books all in one place, and I really do like this release. Simon Pulse is re-releasing a lot of the Fear Street books, and a few things. I have some of the old releases here, and we can see that they're making the books physically larger. That's a good thing. I always like larger books, easier to see the print and stuff. But this is also only $12.99. $12.99 for 4 books. They also have a bunch of single releases. This is book 5. The list price on the back here is $11.99, which is a fair price for a single book. But when you look at $12.99 for 4 of them, that's a really good deal. Also, there was an old version of The Beginning bind-up from back in the day that only had the first 3 books in it. And here they are giving us a 4th book in this release. Yeah, this is a really cool thing for Simon Pulse to do. It's a great introduction to the series, and really, you read through this thing pretty quick, and it really does get you hooked on it. A lot of good stuff here. With Fear Street, the kind of feel of the series is you have this town, Shadyside, and this series is about the local high school kids and their encounters with Fear Street. Basically, there's a street that everyone in town thinks is haunted. Strange and mysterious stuff happen there. People think they hear rustling in the bushes and things moving around that may or may not be human. Stories of murders and ghosts, and everybody's afraid of it. In addition to that, it backs up to a big scary woods, the Fear Street Woods. It's a creepy place, and these kids will encounter it in different ways and under different conditions, and will get in a bunch of horror and mystery plots. That is an interesting thing with Fear Street, is it is a horror series, but it also has a good bit of mystery in there. A lot of times your goal is to figure out who the bad guy is. Usually it's some shady and mysterious stalker who is going to leave you notes and threats, and you never know when they're going to act, and maybe they might pop out and get you. Interesting, cool, find the bad guy stuff there. But in addition, one cool thing about Fear Street is you're never 100% sure if it's going to be realistic horror or if there's going to be some sort of supernatural element. You're kind of left on the fence whenever you read a book going, is this just a criminal or is there something supernatural here, which I think is pretty cool. So high school students, R.L. Stine also wrote Goosebumps. This is clearly a series aimed at a little bit older of a crowd, but not so far as to be like an adult book, which I think he did publish a few books aimed at adults, which I'm really curious to read those. But, a little more mature than Goosebumps, and, a little bit scarier sometimes. There are a few really frightening sequences. I'll get to that in a second. But overall, this is a series that I really did like, and I do feel this is a great jumping on point. Let's go ahead and do little mini reviews for each of the books in here. I'll tell you guys a little bit of the story, but I'm not going to be doing anything close to a major spoiler. So, spoiler-free, and a little bit of my thoughts on them. Starting off with The New Girl. The New Girl is a really good place to jump into the series. Well, obviously it's book 1, but it really sets up what Fear Street's like and establishes the tone for what we're going to do in the future. In this one, you get your main character, Corey, and one day he sees Anna, the new girl. She is incredibly beautiful, and he's instantly infatuated with her. However, when he talks to her, she's really vague and elusive, and she'll disappear a lot. Some days she'll just not go to school for days on end. What's up with her? Well, he eventually finds out where she lives and goes to her house to see her. This is, of course, on Fear Street. But when he gets to the house, the brother answers the door and says, "Anna, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Anna is dead." That's a really good setup. This beautiful but vague and mysterious girl, he wants to find her, but is she a ghost or is she a real person? And if she is a real person, then what's going on here? Is the brother up to something? Is it some sort of crime? And you really don't know until you get to the climax and figure out what really is going on here. A good mystery, and does set up that tone that Fear Street might be supernatural or maybe it won't be. I will also say the book's main character, Corey, and his best friend, Lisa, will kind of be like a Fear Street cameo thing, where they'll usually pop up in some of the other books in this bind-up, and usually not too much, but it is kind of fun to see Corey and Lisa pop up just in the background of some other scene. And that's cool. I don't think they're in the overnight, but other than that. Anyway, though, The New Girl is a fun place to start. Definitely would recommend it. After that, we have the surprise party with Meg, and Meg's best friend moves away from Shadyside after her boyfriend dies in a tragic rifle accident in the Fear Street woods. However, she's going to come back for a quick little visit, and Meg says, "I want to throw her a surprise party." Overall, it's a good idea of your friends coming back, but someone says no. Someone is sending her threatening notes, "Stop the surprise party or else," and Meg is strangely stubborn, and she doesn't want to give in to this guy just because she's threatening him. So she's going to try to force the party ahead while the stalker continues to come in around her, and we do actually get a few scenes from his perspective. Almost feels like a giallo movie. But she knows that someone's freaking out about this party. It must have something to do with the mysterious rifle accident where her best friend's boyfriend died. There's a mystery. Something's really going on here. What's up with that? There's some really fun sequences in this book, and it really does establish the Fear Street stalker motif we'd see later on. But one of the biggest things to note is there is a really, really creepy sequence of Meg in the Fear Street woods, and I think that's probably what the cover image is supposed to be. There's Meg there amongst all these trees. Overall, the surprise party was really good. The structure was a little strange, but I still liked it. After that, the overnight, this one was really fun. You get the Shadyside High Outdoor Club, and they were going to go on an overnight retreat to Fear Island. Basically, you get Fear Street, the Fear Street woods, and then a river running through it. And in that river is an island that, of course, because it's on Fear Street, is supposed to be haunted. The teacher has a family emergency, and the kids decide, hey, let's sneak off to the island and go there anyway. And they're just gonna have fun being on their own on this supposedly haunted island when a mysterious figure shows up, attacks the main girl, and she accidentally pushes him down a hill, and he snaps his neck and dies. And it turns into the group of kids, the outdoor club, covering up a dead body and trying to pretend like nothing happened. They were never on that island. And, of course, another Fear Street stalker shows up saying, "I know what you really did." Yeah, kind of. I Know What You Did Last Summer, but it's an interesting motif, and I also really do like the island sequences. They're really fun. We don't get enough island horror, and this is a good example of it. And a really, really good, really visceral finale, a sort of final fight in this book that you really do feel a lot. The last one in here, another one of my favorites. I think The Overnight and Missing are some of the best of this bundle. I mean, I love them all, but Missing, it really struck a chord for me. You get these two siblings, and the book's actually told from a split first-person perspective. Sometimes we're following the boy, and sometimes we're following the girl sibling. And what happens here is their parents go missing one night, and they don't know where they went. It's tapping into that very primal fear of, I don't know where someone I love is. What if something terrible happened? But we get a bunch of mysterious things. The car is still in the driveway. That's not a good sign. The company that they worked for has no record of them. They never worked here. They didn't exist. And then the mom has a cousin who's staying with them, and he starts to act really strange when the parents go missing, meeting people in the middle of the night in big, mysterious, unmarked white vans. Yeah, there's some sort of conspiracy angle here. So a really good main concept, that sort of mystery of what could have happened to our parents, but then the idea that they've been probably lying to you. What were they really up to? What's this massive conspiracy behind it? And again, leads to another really solid finale. Overall, though, I really do love Missing. All four of these books are really good. It's definitely a good place to start with this series. And yeah, getting 4 for the price of 1, diving in and just getting to really know Fear Street. After this, there is a whole bunch of individual releases, and they are doing bind-ups of the trilogies. I was lucky enough to get my hands on the Fear Street Saga bind-up, and then after that, they're gonna do a bind-up with the cheerleaders, and I think that's coming out next month, so I'll be definitely looking forward to that one. So, anyway, I definitely would recommend checking out this series. I've liked all the books in it, and yeah, this bind-up, I'd say pick this up first. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Fear Street The Beginning playlist, which I made just for this video. If you guys want to see my reviews of all the other books in this, of all the books in this bind-up, but full-length reviews for each one of them, you can click right here and see those. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. The Beginning playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.